We had a mystery on our hands this week. The scholars in this room are the crew of this mighty ship, the Envisioner, well in search of an ancient treasure. We were marooned on an island, and a key part of our navigational map went missing. Of the entire crew, we considered 4 suspects. Today, you will hear the evidence collected against Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff.
I'm Gianna Pacetti.
And I'm Serenity Charles.
And we're the medical examiners. In Captain Log 2B, there was a storm, and Dr. Smart had to examine the crew for injuries. They found that many crew members had fractured and sprained limbs. They had extra splints and slings on the ship to help treat them.
And this is how you wrap it around your ankle. First, you flatten out the Susan K cast, and then tell the patient to put their ankle on it. Then you wrap both left and right sides around the ankle and make sure it's tight so it doesn't get cut loose. Once you finish that, get your wraparound so you can wrap it around the Susan K cast.
I can walk again.
I'm Stone, and our class made a lung model, and we made it because in Captain's Log number 4, medical, Chief Stewart's lungs had collapsed. Dr. Smart found this out because Stewart was looking lethargic, and Smart examined her. Our class made this model to examine what would have happened to Stewart's lungs.
I'm Christian. We created lung models to describe how to help Chief Stewart's collapsed lung in the story. The lung model was used to demonstrate the respiratory system and what would happen if it was damaged. This 9-inch balloon demonstrates the lung. The straw demonstrates the trachea or the throat. This 12-inch balloon demonstrates the diaphragm. Dr. Smart needed our help to figure out the right treatment for a collapsed lung.
The prosecutors should learn that they should be more cautious of the lungs, and the key takeaway is to always examine people who look injured. Our evidence is important because it'd be easy to find out who the culprit is by interrogation with this information.
My name is Michaela Henderson, and this is Zaira Brown, and we're the MBOT engineers. So the MBOTs were needed in the expedition because they went on the island where the treasure was supposed to be found. There were many uninhabited parts, and they needed, after a storm, they needed to be able to get to their food, and it was on another part of the island. So the robots were to go get it, and then also because once the 2 missing people were found by the drones, the robots were supposed to go get them too. The programming part of the expedition was harder because it took a while to figure it out. The rescue mission went well because we found the missing people and no one got hurt. The bad news is that we didn't find the ancient map piece. So the coding part was not hard. It came in time, and the robots were eventually programmed to recognize with their sensors when there was an obstacle ahead of them, and both missions were completed. Yes. So the robots are they can do anything, and you can program them ahead of time, or you can do it while they're going through.
My name is Matthew Santos.
And my name is Luciano Fowler.
We are engineering specialists. We had to build truss bridges because the island flooded and we needed to get food to the crew members with the M-bots. In order to get the food, we had to measure the M-bots to scale up to the bridge. We used paper clips and straws. We bent the paper clips and used them to connect the straws and make the truss bridge. We had to make sure it could hold the M-bot and let it go across.
We are the heart dissection group.
Hi, my name is Anthony.
My name is Jalela.
During day 3, we read the captain's log and found out that the crew had a shipwreck. While that was happening, a crew member felt sick. After the doctor checked the patient, it was confirmed the crew member was sick. The doctor thought this would be a good reason to dissect the cow's heart and understand how the cardiovascular system works, because the crew member had issues with his heart.
While we were dissecting the heart, we learned more about how the cardiovascular system, and were able to see the parts too. First, the dirty blood goes through the vena cava, and then through the right atrium, and from the right atrium they go to the right ventricle, and that's when it goes out to your pulmonary arteries, and then to the lungs, so that it can release the CO2, and then from there some of it goes down to the pulmonary veins, and then through the left atrium and down to the left ventricle, and it stays for like the rest of the parts of your body.
We are venomous snakebite experts.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Isadora.
This is evidence that Neff is guilty. In Captain's Log 8, we see that Young was bitten by a snake. We made an anti-venom by mixing milk and lemon juice.
The different types of snake on the island that could have bit her were red-tailed green rat snake, Malayan pit viper, banded krait, and a king cobra. We had to look at each snake because some were hemotoxic and some were neurotoxic. Hemotoxic affects the blood. Some effects are pain, bleeding, and swelling. Neurotoxic affects the nerves, and some of those effects are paralysis, weak muscles, and double vision.
In Captain's Log 9, when Young recovers, the captain has a chance to talk to Young about her side of the story. Young's story is claiming that Neff kidnapped her after seeing someone give a piece of paper to Neff, and he quickly put it in his toolbox. When Neff turned to leave, he saw Young and kidnapped her. Dr. Smart lies about Young's snakebite and claims that it made her see things. Dr. Smart said it was a neurotoxic snakebite, but it was a hemotoxic snakebite. We know this was a lie because the snake that bit her would give her immediate pain, and while walking back, the pain would go away.
Hi, my name is Kaden. I'm a blood splatter analysis. Captain woke up from being unconscious and saw blood splatter. We know it came from one of these people, Neff, Young, Potter, or Dr. Smart. Neff was cut on his head, Young was cut on her shin, Potter had a blood stain on his pants, and Dr. Smart was cut on his hand.
found that the blood from the scene was 30 inches and that Neff was bending over.
On Captain Log 2, Dr. Smart woke up and saw an overturned cup with fingerprints on it. He put cocoa powder on the cup to see whose fingerprints it was.
Alright, so what you want to do is you want to grab your paintbrush, you want to dip it in the cocoa powder, and then you want to find a fingerprint and put it on there, like this. Then you want to get it off there, and then you want to grab tape and put it on the fingerprint. Then you want to push it down there so it can get all the fingerprint in the cocoa powder. Then you want to take the tape off of the cup, and then you want to put it on a white piece of paper so you can see what the fingerprint looks like. And make sure you pat it down like this. Then you want to take it off, and then you can see what the fingerprint looks like.
Analysts. In Captain Log 1, the captain saw white powder on the floor when he woke up. Later on in Captain Log 2B, he saw a ripped paper with a recipe for a healing lotion. The captain realized Dr. Smart made it. To find this out, we had to figure out what the powder was.
The four powders that could have been was powdered sugar, baking soda, cornstarch, and tartar. We dropped iodine, water, and vinegar on each substance to see its reaction. The mystery powder that was on the crime scene's reaction matched the reaction of the cornstarch. The cornstarch was used as a healing lotion for Nev's sunburn. Dr.
Smart made the medicine for Neff's sunburn, and that's how we knew they were working together.